bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Hello again, welcome to Patriots Across The Pond and Friends, episode 60. Today we've got an amazing guest. It really needs no introduction, really, but if anyone talks about flat Earth, a few names spring to mind. A few of those, unfortunately, have gone back over to the globe side after some fake experiments looking at the sun for 24 hours. But Dave is one of the most prominent names out there, and he is steadfast in his mission. I'll just read a couple of bits for you. This is off Dave's website. It's no longer an argument or debate. It's simply an observation. Trust the senses you were born with. Once you allow these God-given gifts to speak to your conscience, the rest is simple, and the truth literally sets you free. And on Dave's Twitter, it says, common sense tells us we live on a flat, stationary plane. Nonsense tells us otherwise. Dave, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thanks. Now, in your booking, you guys put unsure. When I asked the question, and when you booked the show, do you think the Earth is flat or a globe? And you said unsure. It sounds pretty sure from that intro that you think the Earth is flat.
Dave, look my hat. I am a true earther.
Okay, true. That's I love True Earth. I love True Earth.
Yeah,
I am too. But I just don't know like what it is. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I haven't
Neither do I.
Yeah, as deep as Stu has into a lot of this, but I definitely don't agree with this idea that it's this, ball that is just spinning at God knows how many miles an hour. And the people, we had an argument, I'm not going to say with who said, well, the reason you don't feel movement is because if you're on a plane, you don't feel movement. What's he talking about? You feel movement on a plane.
Yeah, like when you're taking a nap on an airplane, you're sleeping all as
you
well.
You go to the bathroom and you're holding the seats because you walk. Give me a break.
You're flying straight and level. You're sleeping, right? You can still feel that movement. You're going straight and level. Now, as soon as the pilot starts to descend just a little bit, you wake up. You're like, whoa, we're descending. Like you can change. Yeah. You can sense when you're changing vectors.
Absolutely. And even if it's a smooth flight, if you walk to the restroom, it's not like walking on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel it. So I guess my point is I'm very intrigued with hearing a lot of why it's not round. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm not really thinking it's round, but I love
people
to
say, like the Earth, you don't feel it. It's too big, right? We're orbiting at we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 67,000 miles an hour. We're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour. That entire thing is moving sideways at 2 million miles an hour, but we don't feel anything or see it. Yeah.
It's nonsense. One thing is for sure. Look, I mean, as a true earther, I don't know whether we're on a flat plane, a roundish Earth that is much, much bigger than they tell it is. We're in some sort of matrix. I don't even know whether our levels of perception, the Earth could be round and flat at the same time, pending on what level of consciousness you're at. I don't know if we're in a snow globe on the creator's desk, etc., etc., etc. But we're all trying to find out the truth. And one thing for sure is the heliocentric model, math they give us, number one, doesn't work. And number two, pretty
Correct.
much everything about the heliocentric model is satanic. It's
So
66.6 is everywhere, galore.
let me give you a little analogy. You have, let's say, hold on a second. What is going on here? Stu, you have $1 million in the bank, and I'm going to double it tomorrow. So hold on. You have $1 million in the bank. I'm going to double it tomorrow. So keep track. And then the next day, I'm going to double that entire balance again. And the next day, I'm going to double that again. So on Thursday or whatever, how much money do you have in the bank?
8 million.
Well, no, you don't, because you never had that first million to start with, right? So we're basing the math, which is describing something based on false information.
Yeah.
So our entire world, all of our solar system, everything is based off the radius of the Earth. So you said a minute ago, maybe the Earth is bigger. One of you said that maybe the Earth is bigger. If it's bigger, that means all of space travel is fake. It all falls apart.
Yeah.
Can't have any of it. The solar system is fake. Gravity is wrong. Everything is wrong. So if we live on a bigger Earth, all the lies fall apart. They're all the footings are taken off. They're done. They're finished. So I used to say maybe the Earth is bigger. It's not bigger. It's flat. I mean, it's way bigger, but it's not. It's not a ball. We have observations that would require the ball to have a radius of over 400,000 miles, and right now they tell us the radius is less than 4,000 miles. Right, the radius, a line from the center of the Earth to the surface. That's the radius of a sphere. Everything else, the circumference, everything is based off of that radius. If we if we see things at a certain distance, it would require a radius to make that ball have less curvature, a bigger ball, a bigger ball, a bigger ball. 400,000 miles, we have observations.
Yeah. So
it can't be. Just go back to airplanes for a second. On a flight, pilot goes, this is just personal experience. The pilot goes, we're about 125 miles out. Everyone seats up. We're going to be coming in for a landing. Get ready. And so they come around, they clean up the cabin. So the pilot has to calculate, okay, from this altitude, I have 125 miles to get to the runway. How many feet per mile do I need to drop to get there comfortably? Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they do a calculation. It's called the top of descent, the TOD, the top of descent. And they calculate going down. But guess what? That is a flat Earth calculation. Right? Well, 125 miles, how much curvature should there be? There should be 2 miles of curvature. So if they did that calculation and they dropped the number of feet per mile to drop that 35,000 feet, when they get to the airport, they'll be 2 miles too high.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It is a problem.
Dave,
can I just ask you, because we've got a little bit longer today, potentially. When we have a new guest on the show, we'd just like to ask them about their history, because, how you got into all this. Because I know two things. You used to be a Glober yourself.
We all did.
And you were an atheist as well, weren't you?
It's embarrassing to admit. Yes, I can't even fathom how somebody can be an atheist. They have to be a total idiot to be an atheist. Atheism is the biggest religion. This is the most insane religion of all. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But they brainwash it. The schools, by the way, if you send your kid to public school, that's child abuse, right? When you see what's going on, when you understand, this entire thing with the husband and wife working and everything, that's so they can take your kids and they can brainwash them. It's horrifying.
Women's lib.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Your mom, yes?
Yeah. Single sole parent. Yeah.
Okay. Did your kids believe in Santa Claus when they were small?
Yeah.
Of course. And you loved it because for 6 months of the year, you could go, if you don't put your friggin' pajamas on, Santa Claus isn't coming.
I never did that.
No, you never. Okay.
Because
right.
we said how we helped Santa. So we helped him get
all
the
right.
gift.
So you actually did it partially right. But people do essentially that. They use the Santa Claus threat, but they also use they tell the kid about Santa Claus. Then how old is the kid when they learn that it's not true? 8 years old, 9 years,
yeah, something like that.
So then they find out that it's not real, and so their parents lied to them. And if their parents manipulated them with that lie, that's even worse. Right. And 99% of them do. So that breaks the children's brain, right? Then now they can't trust the number one person in the world. Then they go to school, and what's the first thing they teach them in school? Oh, well, it's your birthday. How many trips around the sun have you done? And it's all they teach us. I remember the worksheet, the sun and the moon, which one goes around which. Yeah. And why are they teaching that first? What does every kid want to be? An astronaut.
Right.
No one's going to be an astronaut. There are no astronauts. There's astronauts or actor-nauts. But so you are breaking a kid's ability to his natural connection to God, if you will. A kid goes to the beach, he's playing in the sand all day, and he watches the sun's over here. The sun moves all the way across the sky, and it moves over there. Then he goes to school and says, oh, no, the sun's not moving. You're on a ball spinning faster than the speed of sound, flying through space. And it just makes it look like the sun is moving. You're breaking their brain. And like, why would they lie? I still have to go to work on Monday, is what people say. So they do this because you lose your common sense. You read the quote. I forgot that quote I have on X. It's
common sense tells us that we live on the flat stationary plane. Nonsense tells us otherwise.
Right. So your God-given common sense as a kid, you would never, if you were never told anything about the Earth, nobody would ever come up with it's a globe, right? It's spinning through space and all of this stuff. But the most trusted people in your life, your parents, and then your teachers. You go to school, teachers are gods essentially. They're telling you all of this other nonsense. So now they're breaking your ability to decipher this world. So now once that's broken, they've got you. They can control you. They can do anything. They can convince you that if you don't get stuck with a pin cushion, you don't become a human pin cushion, you can kill grandma. Right?
Exactly. Or yourself. Right.
Yeah. It's absolute insanity what's going on. So there's a movie I want to tell everyone about, and it's on my app, the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. If you go to the homeschool section, which is right here, the little home school thing, it's called Planet Mind Control. Free movie. Check it out. It's absolutely phenomenal. You know how we see globes in every movie, every commercial? They're just everywhere. Globes are everywhere, right? And I was like, well, what does that really do? Like, so what? They're putting a globe there. It's mind control, right? Your mind, when someone says, what shape is the Earth? Your brain scans every single thing you've ever seen and ever heard. And it has 50,000 globe impressions in there that you've seen. So that's the most familiar thing. And that's one of the reasons why you go globe. And every time you see a globe, it's reinforcing. It's incredible. Watch Planet Mind Control. It's absolutely fantastic. I put it in the homeschool section because if you're not being a child abuser and sending your kids to public school, you need some good stuff to send them. And there's good stuff for them to watch. And that's one of them.
Dave,
well, I just want to add to what he just said, because I'm not sure that I agree. Homeschooling is the way to go. I didn't do it. I learned a little late, that I should have done that. But
same here.
The parochial schools aren't much better. So I'll just leave it at that, because my kids went all through parochial school. In some ways, they're better. And I've compared several of them, and somehow there's absolutely no difference. And they might even be worse.
So for years, I was telling people, I'm all, forget even grade school, junior high, high school. The only thing that is a social experiment. You shouldn't do that, right? Kids are meant to be playing, exploring, and learning. And so I said,
and when they want to do that, we drug them up that there's something wrong with them because they don't want to sit in a chair for 6 hours.
Right. In a prison environment. So kids are graduating high school. Parents, listen, I had 2 kids. You know why I had 2 kids? I had a healthy boy and a healthy girl. God blessed me. I said, you know what? That's enough. I have to worry about college. right? College, the cost of college is birth control, right? I probably would have had 2 more kids if I didn't have to worry about college, right? College is the biggest waste mind control ever. I mean, we used to have colleges because, hey, this great professor, the only way you can learn from him is go and see him. Now we have the internet. You want to learn something? You don't have to get out of bed, right? You can learn it, anywhere. But I told people, I said, one of my favorite podcasts is Crow 777 Radio. Crow with CRs, Crow 777 Radio.com. And they cover everything from legal stuff to cosmology to just health, all sorts of stuff. And I said, don't send your kids to college. I said, rent a house for them, like out in Cape Hatteras or somewhere, with a bunch of friends, live there, right? They can get a part-time job too, and have them listen to 1 Crow episode every day, four old ones a week, and then 1 new one every week, right? And at the end of a month or 2 or 3, they're going to have more knowledge than any kid that goes to college has. And I've been saying this for a while, and it's like, I wasn't joking. I was just like, that really would be good. And then a bunch of parents did it. They actually did it. They said their kids stopped playing video games all day. They stopped just being derelicts. They got interested in stuff. They started farming. They're starting their own businesses, right? And so the parents that had saved some money for college, not enough, helped get them started in business, and they're all doing amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they do say, if you've read any of the statistics going back before now, people were much more mainstreamed about, because before it was like these kooks, granola, Birkenstock wearing people that were homeschooling, right? And but however, even at that time, the statistics showed that the kids that were homeschooled were much more, they were smarter, more resourceful, and no wonder.
Yeah. There's on the homeschool section, there's these guys, creation science. These guys teach real science, creation science. Now, I would have laughed at that 2014. Are you kidding me? These are religious kooks. They're teaching real cosmology. I used to laugh. I took a lot of astronomy. I took 4 years of astronomy in college, right? Just because it was so fun. It was so easy. And it's all pseudoscience. I used to laugh at people that would look at astrology. Oh, your astrology? What? The retrograde of Mars? How could that even affect your life when it can't even affect our tides, right? Because I'm brainwashed.
Yeah, we all
but
were.
In reality, astrology is the real science, right? Mars is here within the Earth system. Whatever it is, it's named after a god. Looks like an angel. I don't know what it is. But so once you start understanding how this world doesn't work, I don't even want to say how it does work, because when you start understanding how it does work, it's absolutely amazing. But once you understand what it's not, then you free yourself from the Matrix. It's literally the Matrix is a documentary.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. The Truman Show is a documentary. Right. You ever watch the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah, brilliant.
It used to be a comedy, but now it's a documentary.
Right.
Yeah, a current documentary.
It's a current documentary. It's like we are in the closing credits of Idiocracy right now.
Yeah. And I remember when I was like, my kids were probably like 2nd grade, 1st grade, and I have a cousin who lives in California. And, New York, California, it's like, oh, those Californians. Anyway, their whole family were did homeschooling. And my kids said to me, because we went on a few vacations together, Mom, can you homeschool us? Now, at the time, I thought it was a good idea, but I didn't think I was up for the task. You know what I mean? It felt very overwhelming and whatever, because I was brainwashed too,
Yeah, we're all brainwashed.
And it is one of the biggest regret. I mean, this is the biggest regret I have. But other than that, the biggest regret is that they were, then like they were in like 8th grade. I'm like, you guys, why don't we start homeschooling? And they're like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because they already have friends, and it's more than, they can't see what's really going on. But I think that our society is moving more towards that. And wasn't that how it was? Your dad, you went out on the farm, you learned all this stuff at an early age. You learned about animals, you learned about making canning and food growing, and you wanted to learn how to be a blacksmith. You did, you worked with one and you learned, and lawyers did, like, everything was about people to people.
Right. When I was in high school, it's graduate. We're going right into graduation, and everyone's like, "Oh, what college are you going to?" Well, everyone's like, "What college? What college?" Blah, 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 blah. And several of my friends like, "Oh, I'm not going to college. I'm going to go build houses. Oh, I'm going to be a plumber. I'm going to be an electrician." They're all retired on their yachts.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, they're all having a great time.
Yeah,
and I was like, that was so strange to me. I'm like, "You're not going to college?" And when I look back, college was just how to learn. What I learned in college is how to live away from my parents, how to take responsibility for myself.
Do laundry if you haven't done it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I had a girlfriend for that.
So. Oh, okay, there you go.
Just kidding, making a joke.
But it's so true. Like, and think about, I don't know how old you are, but like, I went to high school in the 80s, and so maybe there was a handful, and I went to private school. And there was still a nice handful of kids that were not going to college. Okay, they were, like you said, they were going into some kind of plumbing or one of those trades, or like you said, I'm going into the family business. We build houses. We do this. By the time I had my kids a little late. Now we're into a whole mentality of college that's not just has anything to do with education. It has to do with ego and where are you going and where did they get in and how are you setting up the dorm, and you need all this stuff. And it's such a cult at this point. And if you come from one of these upper middle class neighborhoods, the conversations of the parents,
it's insane,
is retarded. The way they sit around and they're comparing, and it's all like this big ego thing.
My wife is we sent our kids to college, and
well, I did too, right?
Yeah, of course. And she was, the other day she made a great comment. She was wearing a visor that had the college of one of our daughters.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah, this is my $200,000 visor."
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say, since being a single mom and a sole parent, I told them when they were getting into high school, I said, "Listen, I'm not taking a mortgage on my house. I'm not going in debt, and I don't want you going in debt. So you better figure it. Like, if you want to go to college, figure it out." And they did. They got scholarships. So from that perspective, I feel like I got over a little bit because they got their, whatever you want to call it, education for free. But these losers that are sitting there telling you how their kid got X amount of money from a school. Oh, but she doesn't want to go there. She really wants to go to, what's the difference? And you're going to go pay $200,000, $250,000 because she doesn't want to go to the school that gave her like a full scholarship? You're an idiot.
Isn't it quite amazing that no matter no matter what, every kid gets into college somewhere. They all get in. They make it look like it's hard to get in. Everyone gets in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even if you don't have any money, you're in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, they find a way to get you in there, don't they?
Yeah. It's important. It's important to them. So what difference does it make? I still have to go to school. I still have to go to work on Monday. That's what people say. What difference does the shape of the earth make? And I say flat earth is the single most important truth out there. The globe lie is the biggest deception. And people say, "Well, Dave, how can you say that? There's child abduction and wars and everything. And, the vax genocide and just everything." And I say, if you had your feet firmly on the ground and you weren't spinning out of control as an evolved bacteria on a space ball, you wouldn't have allowed any of that to happen. If you knew your true position in this world and your true power, you wouldn't allow all of this nonsense to happen. They have you spinning, lost in space, out of control, and brainwashed, and therefore you can believe that if you breathe on Grandma, she's going to die.
Yeah. Well, it's everything they've done to us, science, flat Earth, whatever, is to eradicate God from our lives.
100%. That is what it is. And if somebody came to me in 2014 and said the flat Earth. They're hiding flat Earth to hide God. I never would have looked into flat Earth. I would have been like, "You're a kook," and it would have scared me away. So I come at it. The biblical side, the God side of flat Earth from all religions is incredibly strong, but I never lead with it. I never lead with it because the science gets everybody. If you want to use the Bible as a flat Earth proof, it's great. But if you don't believe in the Bible, then the person's just not going to pay attention to any of it. Start with the science, back it up with the flat Earth. Elise, you said that your biggest regret is that you became a human pincushion, right?
Well, not that I became one, because I was already kind of past, that. But when it came to when I had my kids,
right?
I tried to minimize where I could.
Right.
I had this visceral feeling, but the pressure that I allowed myself to feel from, family, doctor, whatever, I succumbed to it. And that's
for COVID.
No, not for COVID. I'm talking about when they were babies.
Oh, okay.
Back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
COVID, forget it. I was already beyond that. And
right.
we were.
I was just going to say for people that, no judgment, people that did succumb to it for whatever reason, there are ways to detox. And I take a stuff called Masterpiece. It's absolutely amazing. It's 4 drops under your tongue twice a day. Tastes like salt water. And it literally pulls the nanotech out of your body. You can find it on my app. You can find it on my website, flatearthdave.com. And it is absolutely.
He's just gone. Ooh. Dave, I think you just pressed the wrong button or something.
Probably. There. Okay, so we'll wait for him to come back.
Honestly, he went out, bang, like that. So I don't know what's happened there, but I'm sure he'll be back.
He'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah, here he is.
I guess that's not the back button.
So, Dave, what was your awakening moment? It wasn't flat Earth then, was it? What was the catalyst to you looking into everything that's going on in the world?
So years ago, I saw a video called Money Masters. You know the video?
It's 3 hours long. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. I watched it a couple of times. And I'm like, what the hell is money? Then I got into what the IRS is and what the Federal Reserve is. And I was looking into that. And then I live in Connecticut. And from my point of view, from my beach, I have a perfect view of Manhattan. I can see the Whitestone Bridge. I can see all of Manhattan. I can see the World Trade Towers. And on the morning of 9/11, I was going to head to LaGuardia. I was heading to Ohio. And I had a friend, a friend who was in New York City at the time. And we're meeting at LaGuardia. We're going up on a big print job that I was doing for him. And the first plane allegedly hit the air, hit the tower. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think our flight might be delayed. Right. That's my thought. Right. That's so. And so I call him up and I'm like, John, I said, where are you? He was visiting someone in the hospital. I said, can you look downtown? Are you watching the news? He's like, no. And I said, go look out the window, look downtown. And that's when the second plane allegedly hit the tower. Phone went dead. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure my flight's canceled. Right. And so I went down to the beach and I called that day 9/11 clear. Right. It was the clearest day ever. It was incredibly clear. It was like I could reach out and touch the skyline. It was
the most beautiful day, like one of the most perfect days.
There's a reason for that. Which was part of what happened on 9/11. And I saw the building turn into dust in midair. I saw what you didn't see on TV and what you didn't see in the city. Like people are like, well, I was in the city. Well, if you're in the city, you can't even see the towers unless you're in a specific spot where you can see down an avenue or something. Normally it's just blocked. Where I was, I saw it turn into this puffball. It was absolutely incredible. And so that made me just really start wondering. And it wasn't for a couple of years. I was thinking about it. I'm saying I couldn't fathom. That's me. I couldn't. When you say I can't XYZ, it's you're making that reality for yourself. Well, I couldn't imagine that this would be something that would be done by our own government. I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't do it. But then Loose Change came out, and I started looking into it, and just the more you look into it, so 9/11, and then the other big ones here, the Boston Marathon and Sandy Hook, and when you start looking into these things, it's undeniable. It's not. I used to have. I did a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole out of New York City, and I had a thing called Exposing the Big Three: 9/11, Sandy, and Boston. Right, because those three things, when you look at the evidence, they're undeniable. And I figured, hey, I'm going to just wake people up to these things, because if they wake up to them, then they'll be able to see everything else. The problem is people would be like, yeah, but the administration is going to change, and it isn't that, and the people just make excuses and they go back right into the matrix. But when Flat Earth came around, people started sending me Flat Earth. I did what any smart person would do. I just banned them from our social media because they're too stupid to even comment on my podcast. And then Sophia Smallstorm, who did 9/11 Mysteries, who did Unraveling Sandy Hook in 2, 3, 4, and 5 dimensions, a must-see for anyone that still doesn't know about Sandy Hook. She said, Dave, you have to look into this. And so I went in, not as a truth seer, I went in as the debunker. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just debunk this because I'm tired of hearing about it. And that was it. For 2 weeks, I tried and tried and tried. And it's like quicksand, the more you fight, the deeper you go. And the information just kept piling on. And then I just come to the point of my life where my truth journey was interfering with my business. I had a business with 2 partners that was doing extremely well. And my truth journey was literally interfering because some of the people I were going after were literally like law firms that were representing our big clients and stuff. And I was like, this is a problem. And I had to make a choice whether I was going to do with my life. And I could say, I could stay over here in the matrix and make, great sums of money, or I can go over here. And I was just able to pay my bills with my truth money. And I went to the right. I went to the, and I'd rather stand in truth than live in the matrix.
Yeah.
Here I am, Flat Earth Dave, 10, 12 years later.
Amazing.
Well, that's amazing because let me just say, Lisa, I think the three of us have had very similar awakening journeys because it was 9/11 for all of us. And the year or two after that, we're looking into, Money Masters, Loose Change, Zeitgeist, all these films, Endgame were coming out, and we started doing all this sort of stuff.
Endgame, that's Max Egan, right? Was that Max Egan? What was his one of his early videos woke me up also.
Yeah, I've got so much stuff. You got Climatica and Esoteric Agenda. I mean, there's so many to mention. I was handing DVDs out at Family D's in like 2012 and stuff. Me and my mate, we get them everywhere. But I had sort of like a spiritual awakening in the 90s. Started hearing about David Icke and reptilians and the royalty and stuff like that. But I actually woke up when I was 13, I think, and I've said this before, that in a history lesson at grammar school. And I just thought, this is all bullshit. I just had this feeling come over me, but it wasn't till after 9/11, 20 years later, that I actually started digging in. And Elisa was, much the same after 9/11, wasn't he?
Yeah. And I was just telling the story because I don't know about you, Dave, you too, Stu, like the more shows you do, and people say something, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That I remember. I felt that way, or that happened on the journey. And I just remember, because I don't even know if I've talked about this at length. I remember after 9/11, going to Christmas. Right, I come from a big Italian family. I would go to Christmas and talking about, I'm not really sure about this whole 9/11 thing. I mean, could it be that it might have been like an inside job? And I got pounced. And it was just because I saw the picture of the Pentagon. I was like, that just doesn't look like a plane. And then the next holiday, whatever the hell it was, 2 years later, I remember going, yeah, I'm not really sure about Michelle Obama. I'm thinking she's a dude. And people just berating me. And the best is, where did you find this research about a man and why she's a man? I was like, the National Enquirer. I knew as I was saying it, I was like, I'm losing all credibility. But the point is that when your eyes start to open, right? Like you can't even count the number of things that come at you that awaken another part of you and another segment of your thinking and your, what is real, what's the truth, what's not the truth, how come I'm going to go down this rabbit hole, I see this, I see that, and it's like it just gets wider and wider and wider. And then if you're in conventional business like I was, you're like, I don't know if I could be around these people. There's nothing in common anymore. They're talking about the paying taxes, and they're talking about, like, they're here, God bless them. And I'm like way down the rabbit hole, and there's nothing to talk about. They're talking about viruses and vaccines and this illness and that illness and these pills, and then they're talking about how you got to do this because it's tax day. I'm like, and it's very, I think, in a weird sense, there's a lot of bittersweetness to it, because you're like, well, I don't fit in anymore. I got to find like a whole new place to be, and I'd rather be alone than be in a place where I am compromising what I feel I could say, or just being bombarded by nonsense of the Matrix. And it sounds like everybody, like your story, like you make that choice. And what is the choice usually? You probably give up income in certain ways, but you can't, it's not about that. We realize we get off that track.
100%. It's, what was I going to say? When you mentioned David Icke, I came up with when I was in Acapulco with Max Egan, and David Icke did a presentation that was absolutely fantastic. And, people used to laugh at David Icke, and I said, we need to make David Icke a conspiracy theorist again.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's classic. Yeah, I've seen David Icke in 2012 at Wembley Arena give we were there for 12 hours, but he was on stage for 10 hours. Never took a sip of water at all. He was talking so much.
Because he's a reptilian. He doesn't need
water.
I
was just going to say that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, David Icke, Alex Jones and people like that have taught us a lot, and we owe a lot to their awakening. But David Icke particularly hasn't moved on with what we think is going on with Trump and Q and military and all these other things and stuff like that. He's very stuck in his ways.
David Icke, Gareth has been speaking at Acapulco for a couple of years, and then Jamie Icke, who his brother, just learned about flat Earth like this year. Not long ago. And he started looking into it, and he's looking at the Glober arguments, and he's like, these are so pathetic. So he's actually making a movie about how pathetic the Globe side of the argument is. It's really good.
Oh, and that is amazing. So
he filmed me, conspiracy music guru in Spain. Ian Leahy in the UK, a whole bunch of people, and he's putting together this movie, and it's actually premiering in September at the Conspiracy Music Guru Gathering, which is...
Do you know what it's called, Dave?
It's called... the name of the movie?
Yeah.
I don't think it has a name yet.
Okay.
It's premiering. But if you go to my website, you'll be able to find it. But on the shopping section of the app, it's right here, Guru Gathering. And it's going to be like a 3-day or 5-day event. There's actually 1 or 2 days of the main event, but then there's wraparound events. But it's going to be great. My wife and I are going. A bunch of people are going. It's going to be. I went last year. It was a smaller event, but this is going to be absolutely amazing. So anyone in the UK in September, you can find it on my website if you don't have the app, on the sponsors page, and check it out. It would be a great vacation if you want to go to Spain.
So getting back to your story, Dave, I just want to ask you, so you just mentioned you and your wife are going, were you and your wife always on the same page? Did she awaken as you awakened and open, or was it process?
So we met on Halloween at a Halloween party 20 years ago, but it feels like 19. And we were both going through divorces at the same stage, and we started talking, and we both were reading the same book, which is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So that was fascinating. And and we've been together ever since. So
Well, that is a synchronicity right there, isn't it?
yeah. So we both woke up to flat Earth at the same time, and we're on the same truth journey. She gets it all, right? Because we don't want to be with what we call normies, right? They're abnormies now. They're not normies, right?
Yeah.
The people that don't get it, they're abnormies. And back in 2014, when I came out as a flat earther, people like the anti-flat earthers, the demons, I call them, because they literally are demons. They say, well, good luck getting a job. No one's ever going to hire you, you dumb flat earther. Guess what?
Good.
There's so many of us now that it is insane, and we don't want to work with you. On my app, I have a thing called the Friend Finder, and let's just take a look. Where are you guys located?
I'm in Folkestone in the UK. Right.
Okay, look, here's the UK. I can't even see it. These are people that are using the Friend Finder in the UK.
I'm right on the bottom right-hand corner, the closest bit to France.
Right here.
Yeah.
All right. So you can find other flat earthers near you, and if we look over at America, it's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. These are people that are using the Friend Finder, right? And you can click on any of these dots. You can look at profiles. You can message people. I have a dating app on here also, because we don't want to date you. We don't want to work with you. I have a jobs board, right? Here's the jobs board. So people that are looking for jobs or offering jobs that want to offer them to awake, aware people. All of the people on here are awake to everything that we're talking about today. So
I mean, your app is one of the best apps out there. It's absolutely superb. There's so much on it.
There's so much on it, and I will admit it is a little clunky. It has because of the way we built it over time, just adding and adding and adding. But now the updates are coming. For example, if we go to the book club, before the books were small, there was no way to search. There was categories, but now if we just go to the books, you go right here, and it's amazing. You can flip through the books. You can search by categories. Let's say I go, where's the categories? I think it's over here. Wait a minute. Where's the categories on here? Here, top categories. I'll say kids. Bam. Here are all the kids' books. Look, Conspiracy Music Guru. He's the one that's throwing on The Gathering. Kids' books. So anything you're looking for, more land books, old world, whatever, you can find them on here. So this is just an upgraded page, and we're upgrading everything, and we're integrating it with my website. So you can for people that don't have Google or Google Play or the App Store, you can get in through the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Right.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
let's talk about flat Earth. One of my favourite things about the flat Earth, which is pretty much a no-brainer to me, is the flight paths of planes.
Yeah. So if you go just in here, and let's just type in southern, just say from the south, there it is. And here are the planes. Since the World Cup's coming up, let's look at this. The last World Cup was in Doha. The team from Buenos Aires won, and they had their own plane, so they didn't need to go pick up anybody. They didn't need to do any connections, but they flew to Rome to get fuel. Does that black line look about the same length as this red line? Why would they fly all the way over here? Because Doha, Rome, Buenos Aires. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. And so let's look at another one. This one's my favorite. So going from New Zealand to Argentina. Now FlightAware says, just go right over here. And there's islands out here with runways. They could stop, it's too dangerous. There's no place to land in case of emergency. BFing-S, right? So it goes up here across the equator to San Francisco, then over to Houston, Texas, and then all the way down. Flat Earth map, straight line. Now, people will argue, they'll say, well, that's not true. When I went on the map, that I was looking at the seat back, and it showed me that it's just going across the bottom of the ball. But if you go to the frequently asked questions page, and there's a section on Southern flights, which is Southern Stars. Where's Southern Flights? Southern Flights, right here. Southern Flights. And if I click it, Let me just click it. Hold on. Click. And here are a bunch of videos on it. But this latest video by Flat Earth Banjo, they were looking at flight tracking. And I guess if you have the paid version of flight tracking, you can look up into the flight data. And they said the waypoint, and one of the waypoints was Texas for this flight from Santiago to Sydney. A waypoint was Texas, proving that is the actual course that they were taking. Talking about Max Egan before, Max was not a flat earther. Now he's I want to call him a flat earther, but after he saw my presentation 3 years ago, the earth ain't a friggin' ball. It's a simulation. And I'm okay with that. Because he might be absolutely right there. But Max actually took the flight we used to say that the flight from Santiago to Australia didn't exist. And I actually believed it didn't exist because I didn't think an airplane could do it. But now I realize the Boeing Dreamliner can go that faster, can fly longer, and that they fly at altitudes where there's like 250 to 350 mile an hour circling winds. So, but Max took the trip. I'm trying to see where the video is in here. It's in here somewhere, and he took compass readings along the way, and his compass readings should have said southwest, and then northwest or something like that. But his compass readings actually, if you plot it, it goes right, it's straight line right across the northern hemisphere. Again, we live in reality. They live in nonsensical land.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, they've given us pictures, haven't they, of the globe Earth with a section cut out of what's in the middle of it, going down through the magma, center of the earth and stuff like that. But I believe they've never, ever driven a hole in the earth more than 8 miles deep. Is that correct?
Deepest hole ever dug is the Great Borehole, which would be equivalent if the earth was an apple and the thin skin was the crust of the earth. They drilled about a quarter of the way through the skin.
Yeah.
And then they hit a barrier. They couldn't get any deeper, right? And as they were drilling that 8 miles, they were wrong. They were using ground penetrating radar. Like, okay, there's no more rocks. Oh, there's more rocks. Okay, there's no more water. Oh, there's more water, right? So they were wrong every step of the way. And then they hit an impenetrable barrier. They tried for years to get through it. They couldn't, but then somehow they know what the next 4,000 miles is. Right? This is pseudoscience. It's in every kid's and adult textbook. Right?
Well,
this is pure BS. It's nonsense. There's zero evidence. Well, how do we have a magnetic field? How do you have a molten magnetic core? When you heat a magnet, it hits what's called the Curie point. That's the point before it melts that it loses all magnetism. There's no such thing as a molten metal magnet.
Crazy stuff, isn't it? And what did every classroom used to have in it? I don't know so much now, but every classroom had a globe in it.
Every classroom has. I think they still do.
Yeah, they probably do.
And again, it's Planet Mind Control. Everybody check that out in the homeschool section. It is absolutely incredible, right? They teach little kids, that this is like one of the first things that they teach them about that. This is an actual picture of an old schoolroom, right? Every kid has a globe on their desk.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I think we've had AI for probably a couple hundred years, not not a decade,
maybe longer.
So this could all be AI. Who the hell knows, right?
Yeah.
But the globes are everywhere. The mind programming is everywhere. This is from one of the Beatles books, the Beatles album, the Beatles, the music. I think that's Paul, right? And this is like
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Hey, you've been watching Siege of Quay, huh?
I think that's George, I think.
Yeah,
That one's George, but whoever Paul is, allegedly.
Is that Paul there, maybe? But here is this Indian guru guy, and they're laughing. They're laughing at the globe. It's just weird stuff. Right?
Yeah. Oh, it is weird.
Yeah. I was looking for. Oh yeah, this is on again. Sesame Street has astronauts on there, right? Astronauts, right? And they're talking about the library. This is Truth in Plain Sight. Look what they have in the fiction section: a globe and a rocket.
Oh wow!
This is
When is that from?
This is Sesame Street.
No, when is it from?
Oh, the years and years ago.
Okay. So that's why I was asking, because is it like the last year or two, or is this
no? This is like decades ago.
So that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah,
you have more than you know. Nothing is random. Everything has meaning. They hide truth in plain sight always.
Right. This is and the Simpsons are always telling us the truth. Going in the doctor's office is scams, right? You got the globe.
That's so funny.
Right? The devil. It's like weird stuff. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
There's
definitely something going on with the Simpsons, isn't there? Matt Groening and all this time travel and future predictions and stuff.
When you think cult leader, you think Charlie Manson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's not a cult. This is a psyop. This is a cult leader, right? This is a cult leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been idolized as one of the cleverest men on the planet there.
He's so dumb. One of our guys caught him in a parking lot going into a theater. Like he knew they were speaking at this theater, and this guy knows the theater, knows where the celebrities come in. So he hung out in the back, and he got him, and he was trying to get him to. I forget exactly what he asked him, but Neil ran. Neil ran away. He's like, there's no way. And Neil was supposed to debate Eric Dubay on the Joe Rogan show, and Joe even announced it, had it in the schedule, and Neil canceled.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know why? I think Neil agreed to it, and then his controllers, said, "You're not debating Eric Dubay. This will be a disaster." Right? Because he cannot. Now he'll say, "Oh, I don't have time to this debate. We don't have time," right? And the abnormies will be like, "Oh yeah, we don't have to give time to flat earthers. It's stupid." Because if they gave time to us, they would be destroyed, absolutely destroyed. Yeah. And that's why he doesn't have time, but he'll make straw man video after straw man video after straw man video about us, and all of it is just horrible straw man stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to use abnormies all the time.
I like that.
I actually just made that up on the show.
Love it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Talking about running, I mean, you see the guy following around the astronauts, asking them to put their hand on the Bible.
That would be Bart Sobral.
Yeah,
and Bart is not a flat earther, but God bless Bart Sobral. Right, he is destroying the moon landing in more ways than you can imagine. Did you see his? He's got a military whistleblower guy that on his deathbed gave Bart a video telling him how they faked the moon landing and when they did it and who was allowed in and everything. It's fantastic. It's you can find it if you search on my website or on the app. Just search for moon landing whistleblower. I think it'll come right up.
And was it Stanley Kubrick that filmed it?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't want to confuse I haven't thought about it in a while, but there was only 15 people allowed in the tent where they were doing it. And, Neil Armstrong, there's some certain generals like Hubble. I think Hubble is actual general. His name is Hubble. But you got to watch it. So basically the father who was involved, he was a security guard there. He told his son on his deathbed, and he said, "Listen, you have to give this information now, but you can't do it until you're on your deathbed." Well, that guy, he got cancer. He knew he was dying. He gave Bart Sobral the video and said, "You can't air this until you hear that I'm dead." And then Bart aired it, and it's fantastic. Wow. It's absolutely fantastic.
So, Stu, we have Razor Rick in the chat, and he just sent me about 3 images that I can't access from where I got it on my phone, like directly into StreamYard, but I sent it on WhatsApp. So I don't know, maybe we could chat about these images.
What are they of?
Rick says, I sent you some pics. It's not flat. It's much larger planet. So I'd love to have a conversation looking at some of the images if possible.
I'd love to see them.
Yeah,
So-
here's one. There's 3, so that's one.
Yeah. So let me just make that bigger. I mean, so that's the puddle theory. I got it, right? But that's not. So the thing is, if it's much bigger, then all of space travel is dead. It's over, right? So all the planetary system, the math for gravity, all of it's dead, right? So if it's bigger to the point where it's 1,000, we have observations that would require the Earth to be 1,000 times bigger. That's a problem. Earth is 1,000. So does that mean there's 7,000 or 8,000 continents? Right, 1,000 times bigger. Average out the continents. Like what's going on? But again, space is fake, right? And then curvature doesn't work on a ball. So I know that believing that. I love that picture, by the way. I love that. I want to show you something on my side. Get back here to my OBS. So if I just type in the image search on the app, I'll type in maps. And what if the Earth is like this, right? What if we live here in this center? This is us, right here. And this ring is Antarctica, and out here is more land out here, right? That would be extra territory, right?
Yeah.
Extra terra.
Terra.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody lived on the extra terra, what might you call them?
An extraterrestrial.
And from where are they coming from? The outer space?
Yeah.
Language.
So going. This was a map that was found in a Buddhist temple, and it was over 10 centuries old. It was published in January of 1907 in a Hawaiian newspaper, showing all these extra continents out here, right? And there's evidence that we actually have trade routes out there. If you guys haven't seen that, I haven't talked about it in a while. I'll gladly go over that.
Yeah.
But here is a similar map. This is
That's Terra Infinitia.
Yeah, I love those books. I love those books.
I've got it on the screen here. I was just going to get that out there.
Yeah. So here is so we live here, right? This is our local pond, right? And these are other ponds across the plain. Now let me ask you a question. If this is a plain, right? We live on a plain, and these ponds occupy a piece of the plain. What might you call a piece of the plain? A planet?
Yes.
A little piece of the plane? Yeah. I don't know.
That's really interesting. Let me just get that on the bigger screen because it's
Yeah.
really interesting for people. This is obviously the ice wall and the flat Earth as we know of it. But when it comes out, this is so detailed. And these planets, it's got, the lands of Mars, the Anunnaki lands, and Aldebaran, the lands of Saturn, the lands of Draco, lands of Neptune. It is an amazing. If anyone wants this, I had to pay for this. But if anyone in the chat wants this, send me an email and I can send you that. It's it's really good to have a look.
Now,
at.
Stu, where does that originate from?
It's from a guy called Nos Confunden, I think. I think he's got a YouTube channel. I think I heard about that through Jason Q about 5-6 years ago.
Because I've seen that in the past, but I didn't know where
I've showed it on our show before.
Yeah,
if you go to the more land section on the books on our website or on the app, his books are here, and I love all of them. These are all his books there. The first 4 or 5. This one here, right? This is Nos Confunden. Great books, great adult and children's books. You read this to your book kid. There's pictures in there. It's a great story. If you want to read to your kid, read this story. That'll get their mind really thinking, right?
Yeah.
So absolute amazing stuff. But have you guys ever seen my work on Kiribati?
Not sure.
No.
So let's talk about Kiribati. Let me just see. Where do we have here? So this is a world shipping. This is a map of the world, right? So the white is the water, just it's backwards. And this is Antarctica. And these are all ships. You can track ships, cruise ships, cargo ships. They're all trackable, right? How did this ship get here? How'd that ship get there? That's 1,000 miles or hundreds of miles from the shoreline. Hundreds. So let's look at this one. Let me see what this is. So, this is actually, this is, so this is just recently. These are ship tracking, and he's going over to Antarctica, and we see these ships that are way inside. Where is it? There we go. These ships are way inside. Like what are these ships? There's a whole a line of them.
Is that water?
No, that's land. That's
land.
Antarctica.
Like what you said.
Yeah, well, this one is blue. The water is blue here, and this one, they're just different maps.
Reverse,
yeah. So that's fascinating, right? So let's take a look. I just got to find my Kiribati. Where is it? Give me a second. It's down a little farther. So the question is, how did they get there? And here we go. All right, so this was the first one we found. This ship is 700. Oh, this ship right here, 730 miles from the nearest port. That's weird. It's an active, they say, fishing vessel, right?
Weird.
All right. This one zoomed out a little bit, 905 miles farther, right? And at that location, it's the elevation is 2.37 miles of elevation, right? So that's above sea level. How does a ship get there? It can't be in a stream, a valley, like a waterway, because 2.3 miles of sidewalls. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So let's look here. So
and Dave, how, just like question, maybe a silly question, how are we, like the map that we saw, you might have to be aerial to be able to draw that map. I don't know, maybe not, I don't know enough about cartography or whatever map making is called, but how did they, like, do you think it's from an aerial view that they were able to see that big map we just saw of all the extra territories?
Well, I mean, you can fly airplanes. I think all of our maps are done from aerial. They're not from satellites. They're from aircraft. And there's old maps of the world too. They had air travel was commonplace long before the Wright brothers.
Okay. Just asking.
So we looked at one of the ships, and normally there's tons of information, where they're going, captains, where they're registered, that's just tons of information. And all it says is this ship was 850 meters long and 80 meters wide, which is a gigantic ship. And it was registered to the nation of Kiribati. It's Kiribati. It's spelled Kiribati, right? So where's Kiribati? So if you search Google Earth, now this is before this video went viral. I had to put a pin on it. It's so friggin' small. It's this little sand. Excuse me. Look at the spelling. The little sandbar called Kiribati, right? Biti, right? Interesting, fascinating, right? And they have a gigantic pier there for big ships. Now, why would a ship need to stop at this little sandbar? Well, for shipping, and America, China, Vietnam, they all say it's a very important shipping route location. Like, why would they need to do that? And then China and America gave them $10 billion not too long ago. Like, what is going on this island? What is going on? So, a little more research doesn't prove anything. There's a Captain Cook hotel on this island. Captain Cook is the guy that circumnavigated Antarctica. Took him 3.5 years, and he went over 68,000 miles, which makes no sense because it's only 10 to 13,000 miles around, depending on which map you look at, right?
Yeah.
So we look at the ship tracking, and we can see all these ships hovering off the pier there, and they all have a destination of either unknown or Christmas Island. if you know about Christmas and Santa, there's a little child implication there. Some people say Kiribati is called Christmas Island. Doesn't matter. Very little information about these ships. What are they doing there in Kiribati, right? So how do you keep people away from something? Well, you say, oh, we used to test nuclear bombs there, right? So the Kiribati was a big nuclear testing. This guy said, the military guy goes, it was so bad, I put my hands over my eyes and I could see the bones through my hands. He's watching too much Bugs Bunny, I think, right? These guys here, it's showing that, does this look like a nuclear bomb? Look at these guys. Do they care that a bomb is going off? Right? They're just walking around. This guy's going that way. This guy's going that way. Like, if that was a nuclear bomb, I'd be like hitting the deck or running or something, right? And then they show you this picture, which has been used for decades. It's the same photo being used again and again and again. For nuclear bombs, right? These guys, like, what are they doing? They're all standing there like this. What does this prove? This nice white cloud, does that look like a nuclear bomb? Right? So you guys know nuclear bombs aren't real, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the question is time zones, right? On a ball, there should be 24 time zones going from the North Pole to the South Pole, cutting the ball up like sections of an orange, right? And then there are spins wherever the sun is, it's noon, right? All the time zones spin around, right? But there's this one weird time zone right here, the international date line, that zigzags. Like, why does it take this zigzag in the middle of the ocean? And would you call this the most interesting spot? Well, that's right where Kiribati is. All right. So what is going on there? Right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I want you to remember this map. I showed you this map earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what if, hold on, let me go back. So now when you search for Kiribati, it brings you to this island, which is nowhere near Kiribati. So we did this video about this situation. And now when you search Kiribati, it brings you over there. And look, Kiribati now has a new spelling. It's called Karamati. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Karamati.
Yeah.
That's weird. They changed the name out of nowhere. No explanation. And Google Earth won't let you find it. Right? So what we think is happening is, go back to that map. Is they said it's a very important trade route. Well, if Kiribati is, let's say, right here, wherever it is, somewhere out here, right? What if the trade route is like going out here, going from Kiribati out here? What if they're trading tuna fish, weapons, computer chips, children? Who knows what they're trading, right? Where do we get all this technology from? Where do these computer chips come from? Maybe these are more advanced, civilizations out here. Yeah. And if there was a trade route out here, how would you even know? You never even heard of Kiribati until this podcast.
Yeah, well, I've heard of it, but it's obviously with the Antarctic Treaty and stuff, you no one's allowed to go anywhere near it anyway, are they?
Right. And what they did is they took our map of the world, they cut it out, they wrapped it around a ball, and they said, no one is allowed to go to this white area. This is it. This is all that there is, right? And no one's allowed to explore out here. This is off limits. What if they did that around Australia, right? What if nobody can go more than 200 miles off the shoreline of Antarctica, and then the military would stop you? You wouldn't know about any of this other land, right? Imagine it's on a flat world, a flat map, right? You wouldn't know about any of that land, and your mind would be controlled inside of this sphere. This is a sphere of control. Crazy, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. Yeah, it's to make people believe we're stuck here. And do
you know what this is?
Is that?
This is the TSA airport area late at night when the area was closed. TSA in Dallas Airport. What are they guarding? It looks like they're guarding Antarctica.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
I mean, the United Nations is a flat Earth, isn't it? There.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted talking about Antarctica because there was a guy, wasn't there, about a year ago that claimed he walked across Antarctica, but you looked into it, and I believe he walked in a tiny little triangle in one corner of it.
He did.
That was really interesting when you've done that before.
Yeah, you can find that in frequently asked questions section on the app under the Antarctica section. I think his name, I forget his name, but it's all nonsense. It's all. Then there's a guy, name begins with an F. I don't know, but this guy was literally sued for faking a trip across Antarctica, like faking expeditions. Like a woman got hurt and she sued him because in the faking she got like badly injured and ended up suing this guy. But this is one of the other guys that crossed Antarctica. No one's crossing Antarctica.
No. Right. Well, I've got.
So I want to ask you something. What about these people that go on these cruises to Antarctica? Where are they going?
They're going to Antarctica.
No, I'm just saying if it's all off limits.
Let me show you. I will show you. That's funny. I said that one
because I talked to you like, oh, we've been to Antarctica. We took a cruise there. And
yeah. So it costs. It's not cheap, right? And there's no independent exploration of Antarctica. So they went from South America.
Okay.
And they go right out here to this little peninsula. Now this is huge, right? People like this is huge. And they go to there's two islands that they go to. And these islands are huge, like Long Island, right?
Okay.
Right. And one of them's called Rothschild Island. And the other one's called Deception Island.
Oh my God.
So let me ask you a question. You're from the UK and you have no idea that what's going on in America. And somebody says, well, in California, they have this crazy stuff going on. And in Texas, this is going on. And you're like, I don't believe you. I'm going to go investigate. So you get on a boat and you land on the South Shore of Long Island. And they say, okay, you can go, you're at Jones Beach, right? I'm talking familiar with you, right? But you're only allowed to stay within the park of Jones Beach. You're not allowed to explore any farther. What's going on in California and Texas? Do you know? You've been to America. You should know, right? You can't even tell me what's going on the North Shore of Long Island from there. Right. So people do go to Antarctica, but just to the shoreline right here. So nobody knows.
It's just controlled.
Totally controlled.
Right.
And they say, well, it's pristine ice and we have to protect the penguins. Well, they came up with that rule before environmentalism was even a word. And we have military whistleblowers that say they tell us in detail. I've interviewed them with C. Faulkner from Spacebusters. In detail, they told us how they got to these different bases. There's secret bases. There's bases all over Antarctica. Let me just show you that. So Antarctica. Antarctica.
Well, and here's the thing too. If you think about it, while you're looking for that, they distract people with why they're going. Like, in other words, oh, you're going to see the penguin, whatever the hell you see there. And you're going to see the nature. So nobody's thinking.
Yep.
Right?
So here are all the bases they tell us that are on Antarctica, right? And you get to go to these little islands here, right out here. There's two islands that this is where all the tourists go to. Do they know what's going on over here? But this isn't what it really looks like. What it really looks like is this, right? So nobody can go to one of these bases over here and tell you what the hell's going on over here, right? Nobody goes from this base and meets somebody at this base, which should be easy.
Yeah.
Right. So these military whistleblower guys, they were security at a mining operation, right? And a mining operation that's been going there for decades at mining platinum, gold, silver, and other metals that they were unsure. They were responsible for just searching everyone, making sure no cameras ever came or left that place.
And who are they searching?
Every single person that comes in and out of the base, right?
Oh, okay.
And the top secret, they're not allowed to talk about it. And they said that, a mining operation, that's pretty dirty. I say, what do they do with the waste? He goes, well, it's impossible to get it out of there. So they just dig a giant hole and dump all the sewage and the garbage in a hole, and then they fill it up and dig another hole. I mean, you can't do that here without going to jail, right? And Antarctica, you're not allowed to flick a cigarette ash. It's like, get out of here. It's so stupid. But they're mining precious metals by the ton down there. So that's fascinating. Back in 1981, I think they took a shipment of their platinum, a huge shipment, and dumped it in the market in the free market. And platinum, which was $1,000 then, which is more expensive than gold, plummeted overnight to $200. Right. So then they realized they can't dump this metals on the market. So they've been mining down there for decades, and they're just putting it all in a vault on base, and nobody knows what they're doing with it. Maybe they're giving it to the Anunnaki, or maybe they're going to one day, create a new currency with it, or who knows what they're going to do with it.
Yeah. Wow.
Mad, isn't it? I want you to talk about, because the math they've given us of the drop of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I've showed you where I live on the bottom corner of England, and on a really clear day, we can see France pretty well, 21 miles away.
Refraction, dude.
Yeah. We can see the beach and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, refraction.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So we have the Earth curve calculator, and if you go to the Globy sites, they have an extra slide bar on there. It's called the refraction slider. So you say, okay, I'm a 6-foot observer, and I'm looking at something 10 miles away, and they say, well, there's 60 feet hidden, right? So, okay, so if I'm seeing something that's 10 feet tall, how is that possible if 60 feet is hidden? So they take the refraction slider and they slide it over, which literally just makes the Earth bigger and bigger and bigger until you can see it. Then they go, that's how much refraction there is. It's the magical refraction slider. But here's the thing. Light does bend, distort, warp, compress, become invisible due to opacity. All these things are true. But if something is behind a physical object, what weather front would come in and make you be able to see my mouth above this book? What weather conditions would make my mouth refract up above this book?
Absolutely none.
None. There's none. But they want you to believe that that happens. That happens. By the way, that's Eric Dubé's FAQ book. It's actually very good. It's in the app. It's in my bookstore if you're looking for it. So refraction doesn't happen unless you have line of sight. I don't care if it bends up, down, left, right, whatever you want. But refraction is magical because it only refracts the exact amount of the Earth. Like it matches the curve of the Earth. It's crazy, right? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's delusional. Refraction is a delusional belief. So let me show you this. So this is these are 2 oil rigs. Here's one oil rig, and here's the other. And the camera is 8 feet off the ground. So at 8 feet off the ground, the horizon, according to Globe Mass, should be 3.5 miles away. Well, this one is 6 miles away. So the horizon should be somewhere here. What do I mean by the horizon? Right? The horizon, if the horizon is 3.5 miles away, if there was a boat 3.6 miles away, of course you'd see the boat. Just the very, 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 very bottom of the boat would be behind the curve, right?
Right.
But the horizon, we're talking about the surface of the water. The surface of the water is what the horizon is supposed to be.
Right.
So right here, you can see the surface of the water, but when I bring it over, my fingernail is going behind the horizon and you can't see it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what the horizon is supposed to be. So the farther you go out, the more curvature there is. Things go down and away. So the water, let's say the horizon is supposed to be right here. So this water has to refract up a couple inches. This water has to refract up a couple feet. This water at 6 miles away has to refract up, I don't know, 15 feet. There's water in between here at 10 miles away. This water has to refract up 66 feet. A little farther has to refract up 66.5 feet, then 67 feet, and all of it's refracting and stopping and making you think the Earth is flat. Right? Like, so these points, these tacks on here are at different levels across the plane. So I turn it like this, you can only see the top one. So they all have to refract up different amounts until you can see them all. See that?
Yeah.
They all have to refract up different amounts. The green one has to refract up all the way up there. The pink one less, right? Or maybe just the Earth is flat. I mean, maybe just get over it. Don't make it weird. Earth is flat.
Yeah.
Earth is flat.
Obviously this is a very, people get a lot of opinions and questions and whatever with this topic, but we've got, I don't know, Stu, do you want to, maybe there's a bunch of people asking some questions.
Somebody's asking, have you been across the Pacific? I've flown to Australia, but I've been across the Atlantic. I windsurfed from Newfoundland, Canada to Weymouth, England. And it's flat. It's absolutely flat. And you know what's funny? The mothership that was with us was an icebreaker that takes people to Antarctica. And this is weird. This is in 1998. And so I'm on this ship, and the crew there was a bunch of Swedish women that were, hospitality or whatever, and fed us and took care of us. I was talking to them, and they said, and I knew nothing about Antarctica, nothing back in 1998. And I said, they said they go to Antarctica. I said, did you ever go all the way around it? And they all looked at each other and giggled, and they're like, no, we can't do that. We can. And it stuck with me for years. Like, why did they giggle at that question? They all know.
Right. Yeah. Someone else was saying, okay, so this is kind of sometimes what we hear a lot of people say, like, what difference does it make? Why do we
still have to go to work on Monday?
Right. And so we have that. Like, how does that help us save the children? How come this matters? What do you say to that?
So that's my favorite section on the frequently asked questions. Why would they lie? Right here. The videos in there are absolutely phenomenal. You can find it on my website in the frequently asked questions page also. They're hiding God. They're hiding your true power. They're hiding more resources. They're hiding free energy. They're hiding your divinity. They're hiding your true potential. They're hiding your ability. They're hiding the fact that your thoughts create your reality, right? So where the globe, I say the globe is a prison for your mind. Yeah. I have a cool little graphic I want to show you.
It's to create scarcity, to tell us we can't go anywhere, we can't explore, we're here alone.
Yeah, Truman, there's nothing else to explore, Truman. I want to be an explorer, he said, for the Truman Show. So we are these incredible, powerful, godlike, creative, interconnected beings. Our pineal glands that's why they calcify our pineal glands. That's why they do everything they can to literally shut us down, because we have these incredible abilities. But what they do is they cap you off, they poison you, they calcify your pineal gland and make you believe that you live on this limited ball of fear. That's what the ball is. It's a ball of fear. We're going to get hit by an asteroid. We're going to have global warming. The sun's going to explode. We're running out of oil, wars, right? They want us to believe this when the truth is this. This is who we are.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dave, there's a photo that was taken from 700 miles, I believe. It was from a Welsh mountain, wasn't it, to Mont Blanc? Have you got any details on that?
The one from Pisa, Italy to Monteviso?
No, how far is that?
So this one is 183.9 miles. The eye height is 1,313 feet. So the target hidden amount is 12,978. Okay. So the elevation of this mountain is 12,602. The hidden amount is 376 more than the top of this mountain. So not only can we see the top, we can see most of the mountain. Well, where's the bottom? How come we can see the top? The Glober explanation for this is, ready? The sun is already set. The mountain's already over the curve of the earth, but the sun is refracting up and the mountain's refracting up, blocking the sun. The reason you can't figure it out is not because you're stupid, it's because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, I've watched some flat earth films and stuff, and if you walk away from watching those thinking the earth is a ball afterwards, it's just insanity, you know.
Can I share my website with you guys? I have a new website. It's absolutely amazing to blow people's minds. Do I have the ability to share?
Yeah.
Yes.
Share screen.
Yeah, entire screen, and then click the
no,
box.
I'm gonna go window. Here we go. Window.
Yeah. That's fine.
And we also share sound. Got it.
Yeah.
So there, you got this right now. You see my mouse?
There it is.
FlatEarthDave.com. Everyone says, where's your latest video? It's here. Now, you guys are on Rumble. This is just YouTube here, but your video will end up here also. These are my latest videos, so they're always right there. You can, every day I have another riff. Now, this is AI generated. This is AI, so I'm going to play this. I haven't heard this yet, and it's not me. Can you hear that?
People don't realize.
Is that coming through?
Isn't just about geography. It's about purpose. If we live under a dome on a design plane with a local sun and moon placed there for us, that means we're here for a reason. We're not a random accident on a speck of dust floating through infinite nothingness. We're at the center of creation, and that changes everything. That's why they fight this so hard.
All right, so I'm going to stop that. The crash course, click that, and I tell people, come here and watch. These are the documentaries you're talking about. The crash course are absolutely amazing. The mechanical realm, but the Antikythera mechanism. We have I tell people, watch the first 5. Flatten the Curve, another one by military whistleblowers. Just watch these videos, and you can't get through the top row without becoming a flat earther.
I'll tell you what, Dave. Right, that Flatten the Curve.
Yeah.
Right, and that can you just go back to that?
Sure.
Previous page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Flatten the Curve, and that the best flat Earth documentary ever.
Yeah.
If people just watch those two, it will blow your mind. But I want to talk to you about there's On the Level. They did 3 videos as well, didn't they? But that talks about all the military aircraft and the use of radars and all that, and how it will work. None of it works.
Flatten the Curve you're talking about.
Right.
These are all military whistleblowers. And then we have the Level trilogy, and I'm in 2 of these, actually. They're actually really good. And watch those 3. You're finished. You're done. You can't. The only way you can remain a glober is not watch the information, or that you are extremely mentally handicapped, right? That's a fact, right? You hear the frequently asked questions, and it's a grid view, and here are all the questions that are on the app. And so Why the Lie is, where's Why the Lie, right? Right about here, Why the Lie, one of my favorite sections. Click that, and it brings you to all the videos. These are great videos. It's absolutely amazing. And these will blow your mind. You ever see my interview with Ruth? All right, tell me your name.
Ruth Heath.
Ruth, and how old are you today?
102.
102. So you were born in
1918.
1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school in elementary school?
I was taught in school that the Earth was flat.
And then what do you remember when they changed it to a globe?
Well, when they changed it, I remember when they changed it, but I can't remember the
Okay.
date or anything like that.
And did you believe them?
Yes, I did.
You did. Now,
I was young.
right, and we all.
So
we all were
I don't want
told
to play the whole thing,
that
but
God put the.
she literally broke down in tears when I told her how true it was, and that
I saw
God
that
was close.
all
And
happening.
Yeah, so did I.
it was
we all
crazy.
believed it,
But
that was
I got to tell you
just
something funny about this
to
video.
free your heart.
Cry.
Yeah, that's okay.
It makes me cry.
Happiness,
Yes.
tears of
yes,
joy.
Yes. Yes. I know that we were true, and they're hiding us.
Yes, it's good though.
It's good.
It's very good.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Absolutely, it's one of my favorite videos. And so this was in 2020. Remember what happened in 2020? And it went kind of viral. And I said, everyone, go to old age homes. We need to find people that are over 100 years old and interview them about what they were taught in school. 2 days later, all nursing homes worldwide were locked down because of COVID.
Yeah.
Is that me?
Wow.
Is that my fault? Was that my fault? Here's the event in Spain. If anyone's looking for it, it's right there. But also on here, you have the app, of course, is here. Start here, great place for new people. It'll just walk you through. If we go here to explore, this is one of my favorite sections. You say, hey, I'm curious, I'm convinced, I'm ready to share. If you go to the I'm curious, here are the best arguments. You just go through here. Water always finds its level. You can see too far, a flight pass, and it'll take you down these rabbit holes that you won't be able to get out. I have people that are messaging me like, hey, I went to your website just to see what it was about because Flat Earth is stupid. I haven't been off it in 2 days. Oh my God. Oh my God. Right. But the most fun thing here is I got Stella, I'm sorry.
Hey there. I am Stella, Dave assistant. Need help finding something? I am here for you.
So I could say, where can I find videos about boats over the horizon? I've never asked her that question. Let's see if she can answer it.
Mhm.
Stella's busy right now. That's my developers are working on it. Let's see if Flat Earth Dave is working, right? But you can ask me any questions about the Flat Earth. So I have a feeling that's not going to work either. Is the Earth? It's a stupid question, and it's not going to work either. All right, but when it does work, it'll type it out for you, and then it talks in my voice and answers it literally as well, if not better than me.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So there's also, if you go to here, I got the proof cards. These are 200 proof cards, or I'll just say grid view. And these are all amazing individual meme proofs. So somebody says, well, how do seasons work? You go seasons and so seasons, and I can grab this card and I could drag it onto my desktop and then send it to them or whatever. The book club is here. Again, absolutely amazing, super fun. What else I have? Oh, the arena. You can earn points by answering questions, taking challenges. You can play with friends. You can chat with friends in here, and you earn XP. You only get a certain number of questions that you can ask Flat Earth Dave per day, but you earn XP, and you can earn more questions and other things. So it does a whole lot of engaging and helping people find what they're looking for, which is the truth.
Well, that's incredible. You put it's so comprehensive, your site.
This is the most iconic interviews. I put, the interviews that people are looking for. I could say browse all, which will just show you more. Those are just the top 8. Again, this is the matchmaker on the app. This is the meetup maker on the app. This is Masterpiece, which I was telling about. Here's the thing. I don't like ads all over the place. The only reason I have this here is because I take it every day. And this is like one of the most important things that I take to keep all of that nanotech out of your body. And these are all things that I absolutely use and love, right? These are bottles, blue glass. I don't know if you know about blue glass. I put my water in a blue glass bottle and I put it on the windowsill so the sunlight goes through it. And then I have different sacred geometry on them, and it's all structuring the water. It's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
And we got JJ's. He makes incredible CBD and THC products. For those of you that like that, I'm a bigger fan of that than alcohol, that's for sure. Here's my tuning fork. Have you guys seen my tuning fork? Hold on.
Is that made of glass?
Crystal. Check.
Wow.
Here, I'm gonna bail out of the site. But there's all sorts of stuff on here. And all of this stuff is stuff that I absolutely love. How do I stop sharing?
No, I can do that, Dave.
You can do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So here is my tuning fork. It's amazing in person. And so I tune my water. I charge my water on my plasma device. I put it in the sunlight with the blue bottles with the sacred geometry on it. And I drink it after thanking it.
I bet that's some nice water.
It is.
I'm just thinking of the water boy now. That's some quality H2O.
People start crying when they hear this.
Yeah, wow.
And it literally, it's heavy. Like if someone broke in my house, I could knock them out and then I could tune them.
I'll tell you, the sound coming off that is incredible.
Yeah, that's you're hearing it through a microphone and through speakers. You can feel it. It's amazing. Well, by the way, these are not cheap. So
yeah. Well, all right. Well, I think we get close to the end. I would like to ask you though, seeing as we mentioned it at the start. I mean, I saw this. What was it, about a year ago, something like that, when they all went down there to do the final experiment, and now
the failed experiment.
Exactly. Now you've got all these flat earthers that go down there who are turning out to be paid shills, wouldn't you say?
No, I would say that they were duped, and they listen. Maybe they were paid. You could be right, but you don't have proof of that, right?
Yeah.
It's an assumption. It's an assumption you can make, but I think paying someone off is the worst thing. Austin is still a flat earther.
Yeah,
totally, and he believes that the sun that he saw was real. I don't. But again, even if it was real, so if you want to say the motion of a light in the sky, the sun dictates the shape of the earth, first you have to assume the earth is a globe. Then you have to explain how helium and hydrogen that defy gravity on earth, somehow in space where it's a vacuum, where gas should go whoosh, fill the available space, somehow collapse upon itself and create a gravitational ball that burns 640 billion tons a day of fuel, but never gets any smaller over billions of years. Like, how much freaking helium and hydrogen are we talking about, right? And it holds on to Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter and Uranus, but it ignores our moon. As our moon comes around the earth towards the sun, it doesn't speed up and slow down. Like, the whole gravitational model is ridiculous, right? So if there is a circling sun, now Joe Hanvey, I don't know if you know who he is, he created an actual model that shows how there can be a circling sun in Antarctica, which is it's very possible. Personally, I think it's a combination of both. I think there is a circling light down there. It's a reflection, and that they enhanced it with, for lack of a better word, projected hologram. Mm. But what happened to the one guy that flipped? Whose name we shall not say. It's inorganic what happened to him. I don't know what happened to him, but it's not organic. He did say to a bunch of us, if I come back and say that, all of these anti-flat earthers are great guys, start doing podcasts with them and say that the moon landing's real, you can know that I'm compromised. It's exactly what he's doing.
Wow.
Right? It's exactly what he's doing. Right. So even if he did, like, I think it was a big David Blaine trick. I think they were planning this for more than 3 years. I think they had Will Duffy is not a real pastor. And they literally set him up. He did a sermon in his he's a multimillionaire, supposedly, who can't pay a hotel bill for somebody that he invites to town. And he did these sermons and he aired on YouTube every Sunday for a year. Okay. Well, if you watch all those sermons, you never hear a baby cry. You never hear anyone cough. You never hear him address anybody. You never hear an amen. You never hear anything. Kind of like he's doing it by himself, right? Weird.
Yeah.
And he said, I just learned about this flat earth thing and I see that it's causing great division. I learned about it about 3 years ago and I want to put an end to the debate. Meanwhile, he's under federal charges with the SEC for financial fraud. He's been sued over $1 million he had to pay out already. He's got 10 lawsuits against him right now. 3 more just added on this year. And all he cares about is settling the flat earth debate when he's probably going to jail and losing all of his money. Like it sounds like somebody's making a deal like, hey, I'll do this whole thing if you don't put me in jail and pay me off or whatever. So that's my theory. And there's lots of evidence for it. Check out my channel, DITRH. And there's a video, maybe 4 or 5, 6 videos back called it says the failed experiment or whatever. Or so would you trust this man or whatever? And watch it. It's a total expose on him. So I think the entire thing was a setup. It was a magic trick that fooled a couple flat earthers, maybe even fooled some of the Globers too. Or maybe I think some of them were definitely in on it because they actually let it slip a couple years ago. McLooney Tunes said, you guys are going down. We got a big thing coming in, soon. It's coming soon, that we can't tell you about or whatever. He couldn't keep his mouth shut. So it's nuts. It's nuts what happened down there. But here's the thing. I think they went there. You know why? Because I was the one that was supposed to go. The entire trip was designed for me to go. It was designed to take me down because I'm waking up too many people. The app is waking up too many people. So they designed this entire thing to take me down, which would take down a lot of flat earth.
It's not just waking people up, you're at. It's connecting people, isn't it? Worldwide.
Yes, absolutely. And so when I turned it down, they did everything for 6 months. They were trying to get me to go and I wouldn't go. Then they're like, okay, we're going to take number 2 and number, whatever. And, we're going to take, the next 2 people in line or one person, and it something happened and it's not organic. I can speculate all day. I can come up with scenarios that are extremely believable. I think they're actually better than the he got paid off scenario. But again, I would just be speculating. So it's not really worth it.
No. I've just got one quick question here from Badger Brook. Is Dave open to the Earth being a toroid shape? Because we've heard about all this sorts of stuff an awful lot.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
This is what I think the Earth is. I think we're inside of this toroid. This is the plane of inertia. This is where physicality happens. All the luminaries are going around on these magnetic fields up here, doing their own little sacred geometry dance. And this is where we live. What's out there? I don't know. Maybe more toroids. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we live on. So here's the thing. We can't science the sky. We can, we can make theories, but we can science the Earth, and the Earth doesn't have any curvature. The curvature has been debunked 100%, 1,000%. So,
yeah.
So our job is to help explain it to other people. And a lot of people, don't have time, or some people don't have the ability to explain things clearly. Send them to my website. Send them to any place that you think will wake them up. Send them to my website and say, go take the crash course. This guy's offering 3 Bitcoins if you can come up with 1 proof, but you got to watch the crash course videos first. You got to watch 5 of them. Or on the app, you got to watch for 2 weeks, you got to watch the featured video of the day. 2 weeks. And what happens is, if you do that, you're a flat earther. No one's getting the Bitcoins because the Earth is not a ball floating in space.
Do you know what? I forgot you'd offered 3 Bitcoins out for anyone that can prove it around and all that, and no one's touched you with it, have they?
It's on the website. The 3 Bitcoins off of there, and you can submit your proof in there. But here, your proof can't start with on a flat Earth. How does this right? dot. Right? That's not no. Prove your globe. Don't debunk my flat Earth. Right? Prove your globe. Show me curvature. Show me axial rotation. You can't.
Yeah. No, exactly. Dave, that's been amazing. I've just got one more. I've got one more thing to say to you. That I just want to say that I watched you on an interview 3, 4, 5 years ago, whenever it was, with Professor Dave, Sean Atwood, and someone else. They absolutely berated you for the whole thing, right? But you held yourself together and you conducted yourself like a true professional. And I honour you for that. It was amazing to see your performance.
It was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I was very naive. I actually thought Professor Dave was just mistaken and hadn't seen the evidence yet, and that I'd be able to show him. But he is a propped up paid shill for for whatever. And that video is anyone that searches flat Earth, that shows up. That shows up in the top of your top of the search. And the thing is, that's woken up so many people, because I'll get a message from diehard Globers. So like, hey, I saw your video with Professor Dave. Earth is definitely a globe. You're wrong, but that guy doesn't represent us. He's an asshole, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, thanks for the message. I appreciate it. Here, watch these videos, and I'll send them a link to the crash course. Then a couple days later, I get an email back going, holy crap. Like, holy crap, this is real? Like, oh my God. Right. And so it's waking up tons of people. People come on the live streams and they'll say, Professor Dave destroyed you. I'm like, can you name one point that he made? And they can't. They melt down. They literally melt because he didn't make a single point. He didn't make a single point. It's incredible.
No, he just called you names. And I was horrified. I don't like people like that at all. So I salute you for that. And what happens, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a libtard, all their arguing points and the louder they shout works against them, because it turns people away from them and it turns people to the truth.
Well, here's the thing. They want to get in there in the comments. Like, my trolls will show up in your comments and they will comment on everyone's video. Actually, you're on Rumble, so less of them are there. Right. But on YouTube, they'll comment everywhere. And basically, it actually works. It is a form of mind control, because people will read these comments and they'll just it'll drain the energy out of them, because the people will allow it. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe the guy said that about me and this and that. They never offer a point. And if you actually look at the ones that incessantly comment, go to their channel. I call them the conclusive globe proof channels, because there's zero content on them. They're just empty. Like, they're either bots or extremely lazy agents. Like, how about put a couple videos that, make people question the flat Earth? They got nothing. There's just empty channels.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great commenters and followers on Rumble, but we tend to get the down talking, or whatever you want to call it, from YouTube mainly. Yeah. So check out my website, flatearthdave.com. Check out the crash course. Ask Flat Earth Dave a couple questions, and get the app. The app is the best way to learn. There's so much to do on there. It's super fun and people love it. That's brilliant. Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. Everyone, go over to Dave, and if you think you're going to spend 10 minutes in there, give yourself a couple of days at least. And if you're going to put this video up there, Dave, come and follow Elisa and I, everyone, at Patriots Across the Pond on Rumble and Patriots Across the Pond. Will you be putting this on YouTube? Yeah, this is going live to YouTube. It's streaming on YouTube now. Oh, it is. I wish I'd known. Wait, hold on a second. I'll show you something amazing. So can you pop the YouTube link in the chat? Yeah, hang on. Copy. I wish I had known. Sorry. We're going Rumble, YouTube, and our Twitter channels. That's in the studio chat. So let me get on there. Hold on. Pause that.
copy that. And so I'm going to add that to my YouTube. Hold on, YouTube. Playlist. So let me just add. I did not know you were streaming live on YouTube because I would have put it and then you would have seen that it's already on the app. It'll be on the app. And all right, so now I got to go here and go. This is fun for the audience. Tell me something why I'm doing this. I need another 30 seconds.
What else have I got on my list? Let's talk about Tartaria quickly.
Oh, the Tartaria. Well, hold on a second. If I go, where's my OBS? On the app, if you go to the Tartaria button, there's incredible stuff here. You guys watch My Lunch Break? Do you guys watch My Lunch Break?
No.
My Lunch Break. He's the number one old world channel there. He goes and finds these old buildings all over the world and dams and everything, and just tells you the official story and breaks it down. It's phenomenal. Best channel out there. But I got all of the best stuff on here. You follow I'm the Improbable Dreamer, Jake. He's amazing.
I think I've heard of him. I don't know these people by names.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a lot of Tartaria videos, but I don't know whose channels they've come from and stuff.
If you're new to Tartaria, do not click the Cabbage Patch section. Cabbage Patch Kids. All right?
I was talking about that yesterday.
I've seen that one, yeah.
The Lost History of Flat Earth. Have you seen that?
Yes.
5 hours, right?
Yeah, there was 2 of those, wasn't there? We did not. I can't remember.
This is the whole series, but the first one's 5 hours. When that first came out and people sent it to me, I'm like, I'm not watching a 5-hour video. And then I was like, more people sent it to me. Then one night it was 11 o'clock. I'm cleaning up my office. I was like, let me just throw this on the TV. And I threw it on. 5 minutes later, I wasn't cleaning up anymore. The next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? I went and did my stuff for the day, came back, watched it again. I watched a 5-hour video twice in one day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I know he did another one. Isn't that the Lost History of Flat Earth where he looked in a puddle and he saw a little reflection of the flat Earth on the moon?
Yes. So that's all in there. Absolutely. So on the app, if you go to the More Resources button, by the way, if you long press any button, it tells you what it does. So people are like, well, I don't know what that button does. It's pretty intuitive, but just long press the button. You go there, and if you click right here, it says latest interviews, and oops, let me just flip that.
Oh, there we are.
There you are. If I could get my there we go. There you go. And you guys are right at the top of the list.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right. You guys got to put a good thumbnail on it after we're done, though. Okay. You want me to make you a thumbnail?
I've got a thumbnail. I've got a thumbnail for all our videos. So
okay, yeah, very good. Very good.
If you I'll send it to you.
That's fine. No, just put it on the video and it'll show up there. So you're the latest. You're the latest video on there.
On the queue. Oh, great.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. And just one last thing on the app. Let me just flip that back. And if I go to the matchmaker section, I talked about it before. I just want to show people. I said, all right, I put myself as 1 year old, so I don't show up in anyone's search. But I'm a male looking for a female, this age range within 500 miles. And I've gone through and I've hearted 20 of them. So if I just click the heart up there, this is a way to literally find other people near you that are like-minded.
Wow.
That's right.
That's terrific.
And that's included with your subscription. The subscription's $11 a year, okay? Which is absolutely nothing. Match.com, which will just bring you with a bunch of vaccinated retards. You pay like $40 a month for that.
Yeah, at least, right?
Yeah. So, and it's amazing. And there's women on there, men on there, and you can just use it as a friend finder also, where we just, you want to find somebody. And you can could do the same thing, create meetups. The meetup maker right there. It's absolutely super fun.
Wow.
Right? I got a biblical section for biblical stuff. Mind blowing. Images. If you don't know who to follow, the star button are featured content providers. And it's everything you need in one place.
Absolutely brilliant.
Thanks so much, Dave. This was amazing.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, this is your third show of the day. You've certainly earned your cup of tea or your lager or whatever you're having. Nice glass of beautiful water.
Yeah, I got my copper bottle of water today.
Brilliant. Lovely. All right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everyone in the chat. We'll see you tomorrow for Matt Geiger. And come follow us at Patriots Across the Pond. We love you all.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Make sure you're watching Stu's News and Patriots Across the Pond for some of your awakening information. Amazing guests every week from Monday to Saturday. Visit patriotsacrossthepond.com and follow Stewie and Elisa today on Rumble for the live shows. And remember, where we go one, we go all.
In a world flooded with noise, clarity has become rare. People are questioning what they're told and searching for something real. Mr. Heal's modern wellness meets old school remedies. CBD tinctures, methylene blue, gummies and edibles, THC-free wellness, and functional remedies crafted with old school care and modern precision. Biozox, a trusted source for ivermectin and fenbendazole. Biozox, believe your health decisions should be yours, not dictated by politicians or big pharma. Crafted with purpose and precision, freedom forged coffee, cacao and mushroom tinctures, small batch roasted coffee, rich cacao and functional mushrooms crafted with purpose. Verity Metals, redefining what precious metals investing should be. Why choose Verity Metals? We're not just another gold dealer. We're a trusted retirement partner. Our clients choose us because we lead with education, integrity, and transparency. Medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, accounting for 66.5% of bankruptcies. We can all agree the healthcare system is broken. There is an alternative, impact health sharing, which Yahoo News is calling the disruptor in the $4.6 trillion healthcare system. For more information, visit patriotsacrossthepond.com.